Hello, my name's Miss Rogers and I'm here today to talk to you about the Edexcel Drama GCE A2 Unit 4 written exam. This written exam for drama in your A2 year is worth 60% of this year's grade. That's 30% of the A-level course in total. It's judged by a 2.5 hour written exam which is split into 3 sections. A, B and C. Section A is worth 25% of the grades awarded for the exam, and section B and C is worth 37.5% each. Section A and B will be on a set text that your centre has decided, and that will either be Lysistrata by Aristophanes, Dr. Faustus by Marlowe or Wojciech by Buchner. Section C is based on a live production that you go and see, and it must be from a contrasting era to that which you study in section A and B. You'll be really prepared for this exam because you can take in a fully annotated script of the play that you study for section A and B, and you can take in 1,000-word research notes for the play that you study in section C, and in fact you go and see. So, section A is all about rehearsal for the play that you are studying. It's judged on 3 questions, a 4-mark, a 6-mark and a 10-mark question. And you should really consider your timings in the exam and how much you write for each of those questions, depending on the marks awarded for that question. So, what do you have to think about? Well, it's about how you would rehearse a certain extract or section of the play that the exam board give you. You should make sure that you understand the play's social, historical, political and cultural context and its dramatic potential. So in that extract you might want to think about the conflict, the climax and the resolution in the extract that the exam board has given you, and you consider what techniques you would use with your actors in a rehearsal room and what the aims and intentions of those rehearsal techniques would be. So what outcomes do you want to see in performance for them using those rehearsal techniques? Section B is all about your vision, and it's based on the same play as you study for section A, but the two don't have to be connected. So for example, if you've used a Brechtian rehearsal technique in section A, it doesn't necessarily follow that your vision has to be Brechtian. You should consider for your vision connecting it to the social, historical, political and cultural conditions of the original performance. You should have clear design elements that connect and combine to your overall concept, and it should be justifiable. Why have you approached it this way? For the examiner, these things are really important, and you must make sure that you evidence the original intentions of the play in performance. You must make sure that you reference the chosen question, and you must make sure that your vision is realistic and possible in 21st century theatre. Section B, you will have a choice of 2 questions, and it's really important that you plan your essay before you start writing in the exam to answer the question that you've chosen really well. And that might mean that throughout each paragraph you just refer back to the question as you're writing. Have I responded to that question accurately? Use theatrical terminology throughout the essay. This is your culminative piece of writing in drama all the way up from your GCSE. So it's really important that you evidence all of that knowledge that you've gained over the last 3 years. You should look at the answer booklet. They give you a certain amount of space for these long answer essay questions, and that really is indicative of how much they are expecting you to write in the exam. So it's important that you take heed of that. You can always ask for more paper. Section C is all about a live performance, so you will go and see a show, and you should really make sure that you document your experience of that show immediately after seeing it. You'll then be asked to research the original performance conditions of that play. You'll be asked to think about the social, historical, political and cultural elements the acting style, the design elements, sound, lighting, costume, stage makeup perhaps, and the audience itself, as well as the theatre and the surroundings. And you will essentially be asked to compare the two, what you saw with its original performance conditions. However, it's really important that you base your response in this essay in the experience of the show that you saw. And you should evaluate your experience. The examiner wants to see that you have a theatrical opinion on what you saw being done in that theatre at that time. You should use really specific and clear examples from the show that you've seen. Please don't assume that the examiner will have been to see the play that you have. It's really important that you choose your question for this section carefully. There are traditionally two questions, one which is a quotation and a discuss, and one that is a compare based on usually a design element. They are both essentially asking you to look at the original performance conditions and the play that you went to see and compare the two, but it's important the way that you respond to the question throughout that essay. So, just to recap, section A is all about rehearsal. Section B is all about your vision as a director, and section C is all about the live theatre performance that you see.